On this episode, you'll hear from the most positive person I've ever met, despite facing numerous adversities. My guest is Lawerance, and he has a list of reasons not to be positive, and they are as follows: non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, mouth and stomach cancer, testicular cancer twice, diabetes, PTSD, and he's missing a foot. So why is he so positive? These challenges, coupled with his 2 children, gave him a profound reason to live. So he's lost over 200 pounds, he switched careers, and focuses on making a positive impact on others. We also talk about the need to stop depending on social media for interactions, and let's get to see people in the face. I just want to do a quick little thank you. Lawerance, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for inspiring me. I love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's jump in. My guy, Lawerance, what's up, my man?
Living the dream.
Living the dream, right?
Living it every day.
Dude, you're living the dream every fucking day. Every day.
I'm here.
So before we get started, just tell people, if you have any social medias, where they can find you on social media. And then I just want you to start with, would it be fair to say all of your injuries, I want you to start with all the physical things that have happened to you up until the point of us talking right now.
All right.
So where do people find you first?
First of all, I just do Facebook. That's it. Everything else is just too technical for me.
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
I'm an old school guy, and I just if I don't see you in the face, and it's like, that's the best way to see me anyway. It's you're going to get the vibe.
Face. Yeah.
You're going to get the vibe from me this way here a lot better than through a screen. And I think that's the problem nowadays anyway. We don't talk to each other in person anymore.
Absolutely.
Right. So me, well, it's a long story, that's for sure. Started 57 years ago, but in that time, I've had quite a few issues along with myself. I've got some health issues. Not that bad. I had cancer 4 times.
Yeah, not that bad.
No, I've kicked that, and through self-preservation, and I've been learning to make myself better that way. It's everything that happens, it happens for a reason.
So really quickly, okay, what are the 4 cancers that you had?
I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma the first time, testicular twice after that, then I had mouth cancer after that.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's, every day is a bonus day to me. Like I said, when you said, am I living my fullest? I'm living my fullest because it's a bonus.
Right.
There's obviously a reason.
It's like you're on Mario Brothers and you thought you had 4
That's
lives,
right.
but you got 1 extra
I got
life.
1 extra, and that cat, that survived 7 jumps before.
Right.
This is that one last jump. I just might not make it, but hey, I'm going to jump anyway.
Right. Okay, but also you lost a foot.
Yes, I did. I lost my right foot in Mogadishu. I was on patrol. 7 guys in front of me did not survive, but I did. And 1 guy behind me did as well. I live with this survivor's guilt every day of my life, and I'll never, ever lose that. But again, that gives me another reason to push forward and give my 100% every day. Were there times that I did not like myself, did not like my life? Yeah, sure there was. But I realized after a while, but you know what? I'm here for a reason.
Well, he left you here for a reason,
that's
right?
That's right. There's a purpose. And no matter which way you look at it, there's a purpose for everything that happens in your life. It's going to either strengthen you mentally, physically, or spiritually. And I'm not a preacher by any means whatsoever, but whatever you believe in, hold that to a higher, and it'll make you a better person.
Well, let me tell you something like this. God has touched you more times than he's ever touched me. You know what I mean? So if you don't have to be a preacher for me to believe.
No, I'm just telling you, it's there's other things that have happened to me. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned the I guess, reaffirmation of life, I guess. In 2013, I had a massive heart attack. They brought me back to life with the paddles. I'm laying there in this hospital, This doctor's looking at me. He's asking me, do you know who you are? I said, no, I don't know who I am. My brain still hadn't reset yet. So after what I think is a long period of time, but it was only about 5 minutes, it comes back to me and I'm like, okay, cool. I said, can I ask you a question? He said, you sure can. I said, where did you serve your mission? He looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, well, you're a Mormon, obviously, right? He said, yeah. I said, so where did you serve your mission? He says, Mexico City. I said, interesting. I said, do you know this guy, and this guy? And he said, yeah, those were my companions. I named them first and last name in succession that he had them. Then he asked me back, do you know them? I said, nope. He said, what do you mean, no? I said, I don't know them. I said, it came to me to ask you that question. Now you got to understand, at this time, I'm 295 pounds, almost 300 pounds. Big, long goatee, tattoos everywhere in this little small Mormon town. I don't fit in like nothing. Had a big Harley Davidson tank top on. I've got neck tattoos. I got a head tattoo. I don't fit in there at all. He's looking at me. He said, Lawerance, you're a unique individual. I said, no, I'm just an individual. That's all I am. He said, well, he goes, no. He goes, I got to leave the room. So he left the room. He came back about 15 minutes later. He goes, now I got to tell you something. I said, well, what is that? He said, about a month ago, he said, I prayed to God because I was losing my faith in my religion, that I needed a sign to bring me back to where I should be. He said, this larger than life Canadian guy shows up in here. He says, I bring him back to life. And he says, he asked me this question. He said, what more of a sign do I need? He said, you just reaffirm my faith. And I said, well, if that's what I did, I said, I'm glad. I said, but, I'm just a tool. That's all I am. I'm just a vessel. That's it. Every day I live my life, I said, I just try to be a better person. If it's definitely not for myself. It's for who's around me. And that's how we should live our lives each and every day. That's my biggest thing in my life, I think, that really shook me to bring me back to where I should be. Because when things happen, we always, the why me syndrome. And I had that for the longest time. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good guy. Why is this happening to me? Why did this happen to those guys die? And why did I live? All that stuff. And I just decided, one day, just to give myself up. That's it. Don't think about that anymore. Just get up every day, live it to the fullest, be thankful, and just try to make a difference.
I feel like I already asked you this. You believe in God?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think God picked you for these events?
It's really a different feeling that I have because I lived a very troubled youth. Came from a very abusive family, and I left and I joined the military to get away from the abuse. And I think it was a way of showing me that there is a better life for me if you believe. Don't always look back on what happened to you. Look ahead at what could happen for you. Be open-minded. Every time that, we always seem to have a problem. What everybody says? Oh, pray for me. But you're not praying when it's good, are you? You're just praying when you need something. So I've learned now with my life that every morning that I wake up, the first words out of my mouth is, thank you. And my wife will say, what are you thanking? I said, God. For what? I said, I'm alive. I woke up. That's it. I'm awake. I said, what more do I have to be thankful for? Everything else is a bonus today. It is all a bonus. I woke up. I get to live in this amazing world where there's people around, where I can maybe, by what I say, might help their day. Because no matter what I'm going through, there's somebody out there that's having a worse day than I am.
That's right.
That's right. And that's, I got to be thankful. And, watching your podcast and learning, the gratefulness, that, I'll tell you, that changed me as well. it gave me another avenue to actually push, be grateful for something every day. If it's as simple as things, I've got a cup I can drink my coffee out of. I've got a cup. There's people that don't have cups. There's people that don't have a cupboard to put a cup in. Be thankful. Be grateful. Live every day to the fullest. Be the best you can.
Do you remember the first time that you felt like God used you as a vessel to spread a message or to, do you know what I mean?
My first time, I think, was when my buddy died. He got shot in the head when we were in Syria.
Is this before or after you lost your foot?
Before.
Okay.
And I visually watched it happen. He was 300 yards in front of me, and a sniper shot him in the back of the head. It could have been me, but it wasn't me. I could have been, like, we were going back and forth. So
you were switching positions?
Yeah. So it just says him walking this way this time. It could have been me walking this way this time and him walking towards me. But no, just for some reason, it was me walking towards him. His name was Mark. And I held Mark as he died. I had a lot of hate, a lot of not understanding. And I said, why? For what reason did this have to happen? And I take his body back to his mom and dad in Montreal, Canada, give them the flag. I said, I'm sorry. It should have been me. And you know what? As I look back on it, there's a reason it wasn't me. Because if it would have been me, then I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. And that time right there, I was talking to some buddies of mine that were in the hospital, and I said, God gave me a purpose to be here. Yeah. Do I have a lot of hate? Yeah, I did. I got hate.
You got good reasons to.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, is there ever enough reason to hate another human being because we don't know what made them the way that they are? And when I'm saying that, is like, I don't have the right to judge. I don't have the right to judge. We as human beings judge everybody every day. That's just human nature, because we've been taught
judged
to do that.
Yeah, we've been coached.
We've been taught to do that every day. Buddy's not wearing those Jordan 4s. Guess what? He must be a poor kid.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not the case at all. His parents decide that this is where I'm going to put forth teaching my son about the importance. It's important to do this instead of having shoes you're going to grow out of, because we grow out of things. As we grow up, we grow out of things.
You should, right?
Like everything, because if you're not learning, you're not growing.
Right.
So as you drop the things that you've learned from and gained new, I just say articles of clothing, I guess, to wear, and that's just another part of your self, your person, and you just keep moving forward. And I just say to myself every day, I said, each day I'm dropping something, but I'm gaining more. I drop one, I learn two, and I make a point of every day to talk to somebody every day. And if I don't preach, you just say, listen, if what I'm saying does something for you, I've done what I'm here for. And that's just it. I don't know what I'm here for. I don't ever really know what I'm here for.
Oh, well, I think you're killing it.
Yeah,
whatever you're here for, you're doing it.
I just know that I'm here for a purpose. And what that purpose is going to be, I won't know till I'm gone, right? Because then my legacy will live on. But right now, I'm not here to make myself look any better than anybody else. I'm just here to hopefully make you a better person and you a better person, because with better people around you, you become a better person. Surround yourself with the people you want to be surrounded by and the type of people you want to be surrounded by, and then you'll grow. Negativity is going to always pull you down. It's going to make you sick. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. And that's why the world is in the situation that it is now. We have too much negativity. This guy's trying to be better than this guy for what? Just for a social status? It's not about social status.
Likes.
Like, well, that's just it. Likes. And, it's just like everybody's on their phone.
Right.
Like, I've got 1 million followers. But do you know any of those 1 million people? Do you know what makes Joe get up every day? Do you know what makes Mary go to work? Do we know that? Having 1 million means nothing if you don't know them. I've got 800 and some people that are on my friends on Facebook.
Connected to.
Yeah, they're 2 hands. That's my friends. 10. And I'm pushing it with 10. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, no one has a bandwidth for 800.
No, nobody. I just don't have that much to give.
But nobody does, I don't think, yeah.
Unless I'm on the TV and I feel like, I'm being pushed everywhere. So I don't think that's possible, right? So at the end of the day, bring in your people that you want to be surrounded with, grow, and growing that, their group will grow with you because what you've just instilled in them, they're going to take to their little group and grow it some more. And then they're going to take from that, what he just did to them, they're going to take to another group and grow that group some more. So guess what? Together we can make it a better place. But we have to start with ourselves first.
That's right.
Because without ourselves first, being that good person, I can't ask anybody else to be a good person if I'm not going to be a good person.
Right.
I just can't. Like, I can't expect, you're going to be a good guy. And I'm a piece of crap. I just can't do that.
Well, it's really hard to tell somebody I'm not going to sweep a floor when the guy asking you to do it is sweeping the floor.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to say no.
Yeah. And that's, I tell everybody that when I go and I do work, I work for people. I said, I'll never ask anybody to do something I'm not going to do.
That's right.
I'll wash dishes. I don't care. I'm not too good to wash dishes. I'm not too good to sweep the floor. I'm not too good to clean a toilet. Because you know what? I'm just a human being. That's all I am. I'm nothing special. I'm not. I am just an everyday human being, eating, sleeping, breathing like everybody else. That's all I am. I'm just hoping to make a difference.
I was thinking, what's the biggest thing, what's the biggest vice or thing you had to let go? You're talking about like you had to let go of bad things to be a good person. What's the biggest thing you had to let go of?
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bitch, ain't it?
It was. I'll tell you, my friend, there were days I could drink a big bottle of vodka and not care. Just not care. Like I did not care because I had that much hate in me, right? Like it was my way of nulling the pain.
Sure.
I guess that. And I never did illicit drugs. I did prescribed drugs because that's what the doctor prescribed me. And then that just becomes a problem as well as too, right? So I just learned that addictive personality is, I could have that quite easily. I love to eat. You wouldn't, know it right now today. But, if you would have seen me 2 years ago, you'd know it when I was 391 pounds. Right? So at that time, I was eating myself to death.
You just you traded one vice for another
One
vice.
vice for another. Like, right? So it's just like, get rid of, and I was still drinking then too.
Oh, so you didn't even trade the vice.
No,
You got a new one.
Add another one and just keep,
Yeah.
make it a bigger marshmallow, just keep adding like, a Velcro piece of whatever, just add something else on it, and just keep carrying on. And never did me any favors by any means whatsoever. I get sick health wise. And I just decided that, I want to live. I need to change. I want to live.
Do you remember the day that happened where it just like hit you that you?
March 18th, 2021.
And what happened that day?
I woke up in tears because I was in so much pain. I could barely walk.
Like from being so heavy?
Yeah. Like with having a prosthetic foot.
Yeah.
I'm walking on a stump.
Yeah. It's just beating
Beating the living crap out of her, right? Like I was a 46-inch waist. I was a 4XL shirt, right? And I was rolling out of bed. And I said to myself, I'm going to end up fucking killing myself if I keep doing this. I'm better than this. What am I doing to myself? And that was it. That was it. I just woke up and I said, I'm done. So I slowly started the process.
Did you stop drinking at that point?
Stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped my pain pills. I went through 23 months of excruciating pain, not taking a pain pill. I take ibuprofen, but that's not the same as oxycodone, which I was prescribed 18 a day.
Damn.
And, you know, and drinking alcohol and taking them. Right. So it's just doctors would, you know, they would have kept giving me more. Doctor calls me up and says, do you need a new prescription? I said, no, I stopped taking them. What do you mean you stopped taking them? I said, I don't need them. I said, I'm going to make myself better. Well, how are you going to do that? I said, you'll see. First of all, I got a new doctor. I found a young doctor.
What do you think in your mind flipped? Like, because you know how hard it is for people to be unaddicted to stuff and get off of things. So what flipped in your mind that you were able to turn it off so you just wanted it?
I've got 2 small kids, and I think that's what did it. I want to see my daughter walk down the aisle. I want to be around to raise my son because I've been blessed with these 2 beautiful children, and it's nobody else's responsibility but mine to raise 2 good human beings.
You ain't kidding.
God blessed me with these 2 kids, and guess what? It's my job, nobody else's, to raise them to be good human beings. And if they don't become good human beings, I've got nobody to blame but myself. And I cannot, by any means whatsoever, ask my kids to be good human beings if I don't show them a fight. I had to fight to get where I'm at today. And they've seen it. My daughter's seen me coming from crawling out of the bedroom to being able to walk 3 miles with a 40-pound weight vest on now. She would never have thought of that.
What's your relationship with them now?
Oh, it's amazing.
Night and day?
Oh, it's like, because I'm not miserable.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not miserable, right?
You're coming to the day with positivity and
right.
joy.
I wake up and it's just like, my job now today is to teach you to grow. Abigail, grow. Like, my daughter's 10 years old, going on 16. And she's getting into the female hormonal part now of her life. And my wife tells me, she says, you got to be more patient. I said, I'm patient. I said, but life isn't going to be patient with her, though.
That's right.
I said, I have to be understanding. I have to be guiding. I said, but at the same time, I have to be true. I said, she needs to know that the world is not her friend. I said, she has to make friends in the world, but that's going to be by the way she is as a person. What type of friends is she going to have?
The company you keep.
That's right. Is she going to have superficial friends that just care about the things that she has? Or is she going to have actual friends that care about other people? My daughter just won an award this morning before I came here for citizenship at her school.
You proud?
Dude.
Better than a straight A's, isn't it?
That's just it. Like, it's worked. It's working. Like, she sees somebody on the street asking for money. She has it. She gives it. She's 10 years old. It's working.
Hey, congratulations.
And that's what I want. Same as my son. Teach him to be loving. Teach him to be kind. My daughter gets accolades all the time because if her class gets a special ed student, my daughter's the first one to go there. Sit beside her. Make her feel wanted and comfortable. Don't judge, Abigail.
Well, do you remember when you were a little kid, were old people scary to you? Or not really?
No.
Okay, well, so when you were a little kid, were people that weren't like you scary to you? Like if someone was handicapped, it would be kind of scary and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's something that maybe our parents, or at least my parents, that they intentionally, no one's parents intentionally do that. but they don't take the next step to go, hey, we're going to be the first ones to go over there.
Yeah.
We're going to be the first ones to engage. And so like, I think what's so cool about what you just told me is that like, she was the first one to engage to make it okay for all those other kids to go over there and talk or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I hope my daughter does.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what she's been doing. She's like, I'll get a little note from her teacher. Abigail did this today. And, thanks for being cool, Ab. Not a problem, Dad. That's it.
Because it's just the standard is to be cool.
That's right.
The standard's already set.
Just be cool.
You got to be cool.
Just lay low. And like my buddies say that there's a local band here in town and they're doing a gig, whatever. They always say, enjoy yourselves, have a good time. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
It's so much easier not to be a dick than to be a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to have attitude? If you don't know somebody, why do you have attitude? You don't know them.
But do you know, you said something like a while ago. I think the reason that most people can be dicks is because they're not set up. They're having problems.
Yep.
They have not done the work on themselves to come to the day with their best self. So some of that's bleeding out over into other people, you know what I mean? And so I try to keep that in mind for myself of going like, hey, I'm not responsible for other people's shit. I'm only responsible for how I handle it.
Mm-hmm,
right.
Exactly.
And if I handle it well, then maybe that helps them. You know what I mean?
Well, they can see visually.
Yeah. Or they feel it.
They feel it, right?
If they're empathic, they feel the way you handle them. I remember this is a quick story. I was working with a client and we were tackling like a difficult kind of subject, and I could feel, when you can feel somebody getting mad, you can feel that energy rising, and then your energy kind of rises a little bit. I could feel it coming on because they were getting frustrated, right? And I was like, man, this sucks, because like, how am I gonna get out of this? And then I was like, if I maintain my composure and keep my body language calm and talk calm, maybe they will stay calm. And guess what? They stayed calm. And at the end of the conversation, they apologized to me for getting so upset. I didn't say anything about them being upset, but they felt it too, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's no big deal, man. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And like, that's what being a responsible person for your shit looks like, is when somebody comes to you with a bunch of stuff, you have to be able to maintain your composure and help them because you've already figured it out. Is that fair?
Exactly. Yeah, sure. Like it's when people cut you off or whatever, right? And they'll say, oh, I'm sorry. I said, hey,
no big deal.
Not to be sorry about. So we don't stress the small stuff. I said, there's so many other things in life to, worry about. I said, you cut me off is not one of them. I said, I've got the time, every day is a great day. I said, I'm not worried about you walking in front of me. She goes, yeah, we got to think more that way. And that's just it. That's just it. In a grocery store, it's something that simple, right? Like, you see somebody looking or somebody can't reach something. And do they think that I'm the guy that's going to do that? The guy with all the tattoos? And they just automatically, because in this day and age, it's become more accepted now. But it's become more accepted now. But I've been looked at before, like walking out of Starbucks. Like,
I mean, I've been looked at before.
Dude, walking out with my son, and I hold the door open for somebody. Good morning, have a great day. And they look at me like, all right. And just walk away. Like, what more can I say? Like, I did my part. I held the door open. Didn't cost me nothing. Good morning. Have a great day. Didn't cost me nothing.
Yeah.
And maybe they're dealing with something else. So guess what? They're going to get their coffee, and then they're going to walk towards that door again, and they're going to think,
that guy with the tattoos,
like,
was nice to me.
Was nice to me. And it's just like, maybe it might make their day. It might change their day. I don't know. But it didn't cost me nothing to do that. So that's what we have to preach amongst each other. And I say the word preach, but it not meaning to preach, but just push to each other, I guess, to be good to one another. Like, it doesn't cost nothing to open a door. It doesn't cost nothing to let somebody in front of us driving down the road. That stuff is free. It's literally free. And, if we can help people monetarily, then do it. But if you can't, there's so many free things that you can do that doesn't cost nothing. Like pick up a piece of garbage on the side of the street. That doesn't cost me nothing. I'm now doing something for my community, not just
the place you live.
Yeah, that's right. So civic responsibility. So personal responsibility, civic responsibility, and just humanity. Be a good person for humanity. spread love, spread joy. Like my daily posts that I put in every day. Be humble, be kind, love one another, and peace at the end. That's it. Peace. Because if you're living that way, I'm going to tell you, your days look so much more brighter. I don't care if it's raining a monsoon. Your day looks that much more brighter because you've got nothing on your shoulders that's going to weigh you down.
You brought up a really cool point. You know, when you're in a parking lot somewhere, right, and traffic's backed up.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, you're supposed to not block a driveway. We all know this.
We all know that.
We all know it, but nobody does it, right? But just think about when you get stuck in that parking lot and like no one is letting you in and blocking, traffic won't stop, and then that one person goes, "Hey, go ahead," and you're just like, "Oh, thank you." Now, what if you can be on the other end of that always?
That's right.
You're always the person that allows that person that's frustrated in the parking lot to get in.
That's right.
And really, that one car length changes so incredibly little. It's such a minute part of your life.
Yeah.
But we act like that one car length is the difference just getting to work on time or not.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's not at all. No, but you just think of the relief that you just had. Oh, he let me in.
Right.
Just, so what is that going to do when you do that for somebody else?
Gives them that relief,
that's
man.
Right. You give them that relief. So again, you're doing something.
Their kids might be in the car.
That's right. And
They might be yelling,
screaming and yelling and,
yeah.
puking. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on inside that vehicle. So again, that didn't cost you nothing to do it.
Also, don't block drives.
Driveways, but
Yeah.
this is text.
Would you? Okay. I want to ask this. Would you mind going back and telling me about the day that you lost your foot? Like describing that day from the morning to the eve. Is that too much for you to tell the story?
No, it's not too much.
Okay.
I jumped in. We had jumped in. We were in Mogadishu. I was on forest recon. So it was a group of 9 of us. We would jump in. And our job is to make sure that it's safe for the next troops coming behind us to come in. So we were out.
You're first line of defense, kind of.
Yeah, we were first and not wearing uniforms. We're in street clothes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we're jumping in, and it's a stagger down the street. I walked the street 8 times before. This is my 9th time. It's very dirty there. There was a cardboard box on the side of the street. And it's like everything else, you're joking with your buddies before this all happened. Yeah, we get back to the camp tonight, we're going to play some cards and da-da-da-da-da, and all this other fun stuff that we're going to do, and just, I'm going to, so-and-so's going to call his wife, so-and-so's going to, talk to his girlfriend, he's getting married in 3 months or whatever, and they just had a baby. All this stuff is going on, and you're always reminding this, but at the same time, your head's on a swivel because you don't know who's there with you or against you. And we're there just trying to help these people out, right? So this all happened 6 weeks before Black Hawk Down. If you've ever watched the movie Black Hawk Down, this is an actual situation that happened 6 weeks before that helicopter crash. So we're walking through, and I just, as I'm doing every day, making my looking around, 45 this way, 45 this way, 45 this way, 45 this way ahead. There's a cardboard box sticking out about 3.5, 4 feet out, and I kicked it. It blew me through 2 walls and killed everybody in front of me.
Really quickly, were you just kicking it just for the fun of it?
Yeah, just garbage out of the way. So it was an IED that was purposely put there to kill us. They found me 2 buildings back that was blown through 2 walls. I don't remember any of that part of it, obviously. I woke up in Germany in the hospital, asked my sergeant major, where's so-and-so? Just worry about yourself right now. Looking at the end of the bed, and I just see a big ball at the end of the bed where my foot was. And where's so-and-so? Just don't worry about that. So a couple of days later, chaplain came in to tell me, he said, only 2 of you survived. The other 7 died. That's what this tattoo is for. Just 7 crosses on that hill. again, I live with that guilt every day of my life.
Is that so? When you say a survivor's guilt,
Survivor's guilt.
is your guilt around the fact that you kicked that box?
That's part of it, but I survived and they didn't. Because at that time I was single. I didn't have a wife and kids. There's guys that had wives, kids, getting married, and they were taken away from their families. And I was a single guy and I was left to live. Why? Like, why? Like, you beat it up in your head no matter how many times in your head. Why? Like, they had something there. Now that little boy doesn't have a dad. That little girl doesn't have a dad. Like, he's not going to get to walk her down the aisle. Like, you have to learn to, I'll never forget it. You have to learn to do something to make up for it. And that's why I do what I do. Because it gives me a purpose in life. Because I've tried to take my own life because I had that guilt. And it didn't work. But there's a reason it didn't work. Because there's a purpose. What is it? Like I said, I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing to make a difference. Giving what I can give. Like, they gave the ultimate sacrifice. There's 39 guys in my arm that I lost in 8.5 years that gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I can be here to do what I'm doing now. So this is me with 39 ghosts behind me doing the best I can. Because I'm sure if they had the opportunity, they'd do the same thing. So that's my, I guess, legacy that I'm going to leave for my kids. Don't ever give up and just be a good person.
Well, one, this is just my opinion. I don't think you need to look for your purpose anymore. I think you've already found it. That's number one. Right. And number two, I'm so appreciative and honored and just, I just, before we end this, we're not ending anytime soon, but before, I just want to thank you for coming in and just talking about this kind of stuff. I appreciate it like so much.
You're welcome.
And one more thing, man, if you haven't tried to get your ass off this planet, I mean, you've had cancer 3 times. You tried to take your own life twice. So now we're up to 6, right? Anything else I need to know about?
No.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, you've done your best to try to get out of here. And God's like, God, this guy's hard headed. He just doesn't listen. I gotta keep him around a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's, you know, it's that stigma. Everybody says a PTSD thing. You know, what is it and how does it react to different people? And I still have it. I have a service dog for it that keeps me grounded. I'll never ever be off of it. Like, I'll never be without it. Like, you know, I'll always have that. There's days that are tougher than others. The day that Mark got killed is a tough day for me because I visually watched it. The day that I got blown up is another tough one for me. The first time I tried to kill myself was a tough one for me because I let myself get to that point that I was that vulnerable, that it thought it was worth nothing. And I know now that I'm worth something. And it's just knowing that you're worth something and having value in yourself is half the battle. And that's what we need to do with a lot of people. Let them know that they're worth something. Everybody is worth something. Everybody is a piece of a puzzle that makes this world survive, makes this world go round. No matter what you are, who you are, CEO, the janitor, the veteran on the side of the street that's homeless. Every one of us has a piece of that puzzle that we're important for something. And we need to do more, and we need to educate people more on that. Like, let these people know that they're worth something. You've got to be there for them. Like, I don't care what office you're sitting in. I really don't care what car you're driving in. I don't care. Like, but don't disrespect other human beings. Nobody has a right to do that. Nobody. I don't care. And if I see people doing it, I had a friend. Still call him a friend. We haven't talked in about 2.5 years because he did a bullshit thing. But like we were going to a concert, okay? Whiskey Myers. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I like Whiskey Myers.
Right? We were going to see them in Seattle at this cool little theater. It was an old movie theater that is now a concert venue. And we're walking down, and it's a rainy Seattle night. It was freaking cold out. It was November. And my buddy looked at this homeless guy on the side of the street. Guy asked him for money. The guy, my buddy said, "Go get a fucking life." I said, "Excuse me? What did you just say to him?" I said, "You heard what I said." I said, "Dude," I said, "Who the heck do you think you are? That's not cool. Like, you're no better than him. Actually, right now, you're worse than he is." I said, "Don't disrespect people, man." So I didn't go to the concert.
Damn.
I stopped. I looked at the guy. I said, "You hungry?" Yeah. I said, "Let's go get something to eat." I took him for something to eat instead. My buddy looked at me and said, "You're not coming to the show?" I said, "Why would I?" I said, "I'm not going to associate with people like that." I said, "When you can apologize and find yourself," I said, "then come back to me and call yourself my friend." I said, "Until then, man," I said, "I got to go."
Were those decisions to I don't want to say cut off relationships, but appropriately put them in their right place? Was that hard for you before when you were battling alcohol and eating and things like that? It was hard for you to set boundaries like that, huh?
I would never have set boundaries like that. I would have just accepted it.
Yeah.
You probably would have laughed.
Yeah.
As you would have said that, right?
Right.
Because I wasn't comfortable with me. Right? I didn't know where I should be at the time. Right? I was just so letting myself go, like I didn't care. And then as I realized and I grew, I realized that, you know what? I've got to help grow other people. I've got to show other people how it is to be good to other people. And I said, that's what I'm here. Like, just let me show you how to do it. Like, say good afternoon, say good day, have a great day. Like, I appreciate you, my barista, when I got my coffee today. Thanks, have a great day. No, I appreciate you. Thank you. You have a great day too.
That's right.
And that's just it. Like, that's it. Did it cost me anything? No. And when I left there, guess what? I'm still smiling, right? It's easier to smile. Takes less energy to do this than frown. So why would I have a frown on my face? I want to use as less energy as possible, right? I just want to make sure that everything I'm putting forth brightens somebody's day. And if they hear me saying, "Hey, I appreciate you, thank you," maybe they may say the same thing. Maybe they never even thought of thanking your barista before because they just think, "Oh, that's that kid that's making $15.85 an hour, and that's her job. What do I got to thank him for?" Because they're a human being. That's right. They're just like
he showed you favor.
That's right.
He made your coffee.
That's right.
He served it to you.
That's right.
You could at least say thank you.
That's right. Does that cost you anything?
Nope.
Don't tip them. Say thank you. You know what? That thank you is probably going to be more than that 25 cents you're going to give me anyway. So, dude, that thank you is tax-free. That just lightened that guy's day. Thank yous and hellos and hi's are all tax-free. It costs you nothing to do that. It's and when people are accepting it, again, they're not having to pay on that. And that's what happens in life nowadays is we have to pay so much to be happy, right? Like we have to earn money. Then you spend your money and you think you're happy spending your money, but you're paying your taxes to spend your money, right? It's a vicious circle. It's a cycle that's just terrible.
Yeah.
But now the things that we can do that don't cost money and you just get just as much happiness. Like just hanging out here, you and I talking, right? Like we're like, this is great. Like, does this cost us a dime? No, No, what are we doing? We're growing.
You know what's so funny is a total side product of this whole thing of doing this podcast is like I've really got invested into what I'm doing, right? So I don't buy things anymore. I don't go buy. I'm getting out of collecting sneakers. I don't consumer stuff. Like I just do like this. And like to your point, so I could be doing this, right? Or I could be scrolling on my phone. You know what I mean? And that might be what I'd be doing if we weren't in here. But this is way more rewarding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And it's just, it's, if we drop those electronics, you know, and, you know, they're good to an extent. Don't get me wrong. They help connect people that are.
If you use them
positively, right? Yeah. But they're not the end all to be all.
Well, nothing is really, right?
This interaction, this human interaction. And unfortunately, we've had something that happened for 2 years and a bit that took away that human interaction. And we're starting to have to rebuild that again and learn how to get out there and say, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, shaking hands. Like, you know, people, we can touch again. Like, oh my God, you know, like,
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we let that go because, you know, we had an issue. Well, let's get over the issue now and move on. And that's why I tell people, I said, you know, we're always going to have issues in life. We really are. There's always going to be something that comes around. So let's push through it the best that we can, but then move on. Don't dwell on the past. Move to the future. Because dwelling on the past, you're always going to have that little bit that's going to weigh on your back.
You're going to be in the past.
Well, you're going to be in the back, but it weighs on you as well.
That's right.
Right? Because if you don't let it go, then you're carrying it.
Right.
Then you're carrying it. Then you're carrying it. I talked to this one time when I was in Turkey. I had this religious leader say to me, he goes, I'm going to tell you something that will make your life so much easier. Remember this the rest of your life. And I said, what is that? He said, if you come upon a problem, he said, and you ask this question, can I fix it? And if you say yes, then fix it and let it go. You answer no. Can I fix it? No. Then let it go. Because if you don't let it go, now you have two problems. The one that you couldn't fix and the weight on your shoulders that you couldn't fix it. So now you're carrying that weight. You're carrying the problem and you're carrying the weight of not being able to fix that problem. If you can't fix it, if it's out of your control, then just let it go. We cannot, as human beings, fix everything. We just cannot do it. It's not possible. It's not possible. There's things that I can't do, and I'll be the first to admit it. Like when it comes to computers, dude, yeah, where's the on button? Oh, yeah, dude. No, I am illiterate. My daughter can teach me how to use the computer, and now my 4-year-old son can teach me how to use an iPad. So, but I'm just saying, it's just like they're much better at it than I am. So I know my strengths, and I know my weaknesses. Remember your strengths, remember your weaknesses, and grow on them. Just, I know I'm not good in this, but I'm good in this. So I'm going to use my good in this to outweigh my not so good in this. I'm not going to put myself in a position that I need to take care of things like this that I'm not good at. I'm going to take and do things that I am good at.
Well, okay, so when did you become, you're 57 now?
Yes, sir.
When would you say you became this person? Like how long ago? Like the person that sits in front of me with this attitude and this mindset?
I'm going to say in the last real hardcore like this, because I'm going to say hardcore.
Sure.
It's 12 months.
But you said earlier that you have not spoken to a friend in 2.5 years.
That's right.
So you were,
I was on the path to being this.
Okay, so let me back it up. When did you start the path of this attitude?
Oh, okay. So the path of this probably about 3 years ago.
Okay. Do you wish you would have started this sooner?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. My life would have been so much better.
But I would argue from sitting on the outside that for some reason you had to go through all these things to get here. Like you
most
had
definitely. Yeah, you have to have them to grow.
Yeah.
You have to have them to grow, obviously, right? So it came to that point that I grew, I guess, enough that I blossomed that other flower, like onto the branch, I guess, because my tree now is not just 2 limbs.
Right.
It's 3 limbs, 4 limbs, 5 limbs. Now, some of them are starting to blossom some because people will come back and say to me, remember that time that you talked to me about this? Yeah. I said, well, that really changed me to start doing this. No,
Great.
great. So now out of that leaf, I got a flower. So then maybe with what he's doing, it's going to go that way. Then whoever he's touching, like, like I said, I don't pat myself on the back by any means whatsoever. I just know that there's people out there that they see what I do and they appreciate it. And then there's more self-conscious, like, they ask me, like, how can I be like you? I said, well, nobody's going to be like me. I said, you have to be like you, because I am me and you are you. There's no two human beings that are the exact same. We all have our own composition for a purpose and a reason. So you may be so much more better at things than I am, that you can touch other people that I can't touch people with. So I said, just be the best you. First and foremost, don't try to be like somebody else. Be your best you.
Well, it's the only person you could be.
That's just it. But is that the society we live in?
Well, and what's so weird about it is, like, everybody tries so hard to be an individual, but then they just end up exactly like somebody else.
Yeah, like dressing like Barbie.
Or dress like whoever, or do like whatever, or wear like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
like, I take in when I dress interesting, right? And I look at things and I take things in, but at the end of the day, like, I'm dressing like me. That's why I dress this way, and that feels authentic to me. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people dress, wear, do the things that they think are the things they should be doing, instead of doing the things they want to do, or that speaks to them authentically.
Yeah. Well, I wear this shirt on the back says "Be a good human," and I've had people look and said, "That's a cool shirt." I said, "That's the only way to live." Well, and I just leave it at that, and I walk away. Right?
Like you were saying, like, that's happened to me too, where people are like, "I should be more like you." They'll say things to me like that, and I mean, the real answer is, like, you don't want to be like me.
No, you want to be.
You just want to be like a good human.
Yeah.
What does a good human look like? That's what you want to be. That's what you're striving for.
Yeah.
I would say that me and you have very similar mindsets and probably go about the day in a very similar way. Yeah. But I'm not you.
No.
And you're not me.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've also got our own paths too that we go, right? Like, you've got different people that you like talk to, and I've got my different types of people I talk to as well, right? So we're both going in different ways, but we have the same message.
That's right.
Of being a good human being. And that's what it means. Like I said, I wear the self-check t-shirt that I wear, right? I wear that in Starbucks. And the barista the other day looked at me, she said, self-check. She goes, "That's a cool shirt."
Nice.
And then I said, "Well, I can tell you where to get one of those if you want one."
Yeah.
Right? And she said, "Okay, cool." And then I wore the Be Authentic one, right? Mm-hmm. And she goes, and it was the same barista because I wore it the next day. She said, "Now that is a cool shirt." I said, "Yeah." I said, "But that's what you need to be. Be authentic. Don't be fake. Be authentic." And then I wore my Just Be shirt 2 days after that. Right? And then as I'm walking away, and she looks at me, she goes, "Hey, Lawerance." Yeah, she goes, "That one's the best." And I said, "Cool." I said, "You know where to get them."
Yeah.
She said, "Okay, cool." She goes, "Thanks, man. You have a great day." So that's just it. Like, I go in now into the store, and I'm not in there all the time, but I walk up and she goes, "You want your regular?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I guess I'm coming in here too often." I said, "That, my regular." She goes, "No." She goes, "No, it's not that it's too often." She goes, "It's you. We recognize you." She goes, "I know what you want." And she goes, "You always say thank you. You're always very polite." She goes, "So that's, she goes, I see you coming in the door." She didn't even have my order rung up today. She already started making it. Then she came over and rang it up.
Let me ask you this. When she said that she knew you, or like, she knows you because you're nice, blah, blah, did she mention anything about your tattoos?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting that the easiest way to remember Lawerance would be that he has tattoos. That's the easiest way.
Yeah.
But the way she remembered was because you said please and thank you and were polite and nice and engaging. Asked her how her day is going.
That's right.
What's her name? Do you know her
Adrian.
name? Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian, you have it on my pocket. I'm gonna get you a shirt. We're gonna get you some shirts. I'm gonna give them to my guy here, and he's gonna bring them to you. I mean, you might not see this, but anyway.
Yeah, but no, but I'm just saying, like, she's like super cool, and just one of those chicks, right? So it's just like, and knowing and recognizing that, and like they can wear whatever they want working at Starbucks as well.
Sure.
Right. So they're allowed, so I just said, you're pretty cool. Right. So I've gotten her like, I bring her like a chive shirt here
Sure.
or whatever. Right. And she's like, oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I said, okay, what do you, a medium? Yeah. Okay. I'll bring you a medium shirt, next time I see you, and just here, this for you. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it to you. I'm sure. I said, it was my purpose when I walked in here today. I said, I wasn't even coming for a coffee.
Yeah.
So I was actually driving by here today, and I said, well, I meant to drop this off. And I said, I'm going to drop it off and just take it off. She goes, well, I'll get you a drink. I said, no, that's cool. So I'm not looking for anything. I said, but I want you to have that.
So you're in your car.
Yeah.
And you're not getting a coffee.
Yeah.
And you drive out of your way to take this shirt to that lady, to Adrian, right?
Yeah. Adrian.
Did that take less energy than just being a miserable old piece of shit?
Oh, way less energy.
But you could see how to a layman person, they would think like being miserable at home, doing nothing would take less energy than getting out and doing something like that. But when you do things like that, it feels effortless, right?
It does. And you just everything lightens up. Like,
For you and them.
Well, you see the smile on their face, right? That smile. It's just like, that cost me nothing.
Yeah.
And look at that person now. She's having a great day.
Hey, and she's going to keep that in the old noggin.
That's right.
She's going to store that.
She's going to think.
Even if we're unconscious, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's going to think down the road. Like, if the day that she's having maybe a bad day, there are good people out there.
Next Thursday, she's digging through her shirt drawer, and then she pulls up that shirt that Lawerance gave her, and she's like, man, that guy Lawerance, he's so nice.
But it's just,
But I mean, that thought might change her whole day. She might go, I'm putting this shirt on today for Lawerance.
Yeah.
Or whatever that
whatever it is. Yeah. And it's just like, it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just, like I said, putting it forward, right? Like pay it forward, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Pay it forward. Always pay it forward. Like no matter what. Like, I don't know what you're going through. I'm going to be nice to you. And it's how you take it. If you decide, you know what? He was nice to me. Well, thank you. You have a good day too.
Right.
But they could be having a miserable day, but at least you made that effort, and that might start to break down that wall or start to break down whatever is bothering them.
You might be really nice to a person and they might be a complete asshole, right?
Yeah.
But you were the first one. It's kind of like we we're talking about being the first one earlier when we say like the first one, if someone's handicapped, then there would be that fear, the first one showing up. You're the first one to kick in their door and break down their wall, right? So they're not going to be too happy about it, right? But then the next person that comes along that says hi to them, maybe they're just a little bit softer and they treat them a little bit nicer.
Yep.
And because you have the inner strength to take the load of someone being really rude, you can start that process of maybe them softening up for everyone else around them, right?
Exactly, yeah. You never take anything personal. And I tell that to people all the time. Like I've been yelled at, screamed at. And I said, you know what? It's not me because they don't know me. It's not personal. It's whatever they're going through. It's a situation that they're in. So it's what they're dealing with. I said, so don't take it personal. I did a lot of conflict resolution when I was in the military, different factions against different factions. And that's one thing that they taught us. Never, ever take it personal. So if I go up to somebody and I'm asking them to leave someplace because, this isn't a safe place for you to be. Well, this is my home. I can't be the one to take. I can't leave. I can't do this. I can't do that. But you have to. I'm telling you this for the better of you. I know it's not the easiest. And I said, I know you're probably not going to like me for making you do this.
This is not a personal decision.
I said, I'm doing this for the better of you. Please understand, let's do it this way. Let's go. And then they will, they'll realize 3 days later when they come back and their house is no longer there because it's been blown up. That guy did something, he saved my life.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just never, ever do anything. I tell people with an attitude because you don't know what they're going through. Working the door, something as simple as that. Like you said, you're talking to somebody and you can feel the aggression start to build up. Well, they teach us that, you always go at somebody below.
Yeah. Try to pull them back a little bit.
Or, below to them and okay, show compassion, show empathy. Okay, I understand. Yeah. I understand you're upset. Yeah. But unfortunately, at this time, I'm not going to be able to let you in because you know what? for the safety of everybody else and probably yourself, you've had too much to drink, and it's probably best for you to go home and sleep it off. Come on back tomorrow. I'll accept you in the morning,
I'll buy a shot.
I'll buy you, or whatever.
Yeah.
But tonight, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to let you in. Dude, you're probably right. I know, man. It's okay, though.
And I would say a lot of times when you go to a situation like that, either when you're in the military or even working the door at like Shiners, like when you approach it like that, most people just back. They don't get irate, do they? Nah.
Yeah,
It's when you match their stuff is when they start to really get upset.
Yeah,
it took me a long time to figure that out.
That's right, because we're human beings. Like, we always want to defend ourselves, right?
Right, yeah.
I had a guy one night I was taken out of Shiners, and he had punched one of the bartenders. And I said, it's time for you to leave. And he starts to get a bit irate. And I said, we can do this one of two ways. I said, you can walk yourself down the stairs. I said, or I'm going to guide you down the stairs. I said, it's time to go home. And he said, oh, dude. I said, we're not talking about this anymore. I said, it's time for you to go home. And I said, we always know, alcohol builds somebody up, right? So, and the guy said, okay, I'm going to leave. And then we start walking out the door. And then he starts to get aggressive again. I said, listen. I said, we're doing so well right now. I said, let's just keep the flow, keep going down the stairs. Go down the stairs and get outside. And then he starts yelling at me and screaming at me and starts calling me names. And he says, if you weren't working here, he goes, I said, that's cool, man. That's fine. I said, but there's one thing I said, you got to remember. What's that? I said, I'm in here now. And I said, you're out there. I said, we didn't have to get physical, did we? I said, you left. I said, now you're going to feel better in the morning. I said that you didn't get into a scuffle. I said, you can come back to the bar
Not
again.
in jail.
You're not in jail. I said, it's okay. I said, I can take it. I said, I got broad shoulders. It's fine. He said, yeah, but you're this. And I said, but remember another thing. I said, what's that? I said, you just got taken out of the bar by a 1-footed 57-year-old man. And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean? I said, dude, I don't have a right foot. No. I said, yeah. I'm a disabled veteran, man. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm not asking for your sorriness. I said, I'm just, remember, you don't know who you're talking to. I said, did it get physical? No, it didn't have to, did it? No. I said, remember that.
You ever see the movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's on my DVR.
Be nice.
Yeah, be nice.
Until I tell you not to be nice.
That's right.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, and it's, I used to do that. It's like I do that in Canada at a bar. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the story, but the bar holds 10,000 people. I've got 70 door staff.
Damn.
And last year we had 1.2 million people come through the venue in 11 days. We open at 11 in the morning and close at 3 in the morning. We have a new band on every hour and a half.
Wow.
We had 115 shows over 11 days. Alabama, Blake Shelton, that's where Eric Church played.
What? Wow.
Right? So all these big acts are coming in, like, Martina McBride we've had there, all these acts. Last year, out of the 11 days, I had 2 fights.
That's amazing.
1.2 million people came through the door.
I don't know if people don't really understand how amazing that is.
2.
But like at a regular concert, two fights will happen pretty much automatically.
Yeah.
If you're working at a bar downtown, like anytime like a bar, if it gets rough at night, probably 2 fights are going to happen automatically.
Yeah.
And that's 2 in 11 days.
Yeah, my boys, I tell them, I said, do you know how stop that from happening? How's
be nice.
That? Well, be nice. Well, be nice. I said, when you take that ID, make it personal. What do you mean?
Let them know that you know they're here.
Hey, David, how's it going, man? How's your day going? Great. You here for a good time? Yeah. I said, but not a long time, right? Here till closing.
Yeah.
Not going to have any problems, all right? No, we're not going to have no problems, man. Cool. I'll remember you later if I see you. Okay. Have a good night. Everything, every one of them, make it personal.
It's not really personal, but
you're mentioning their name.
Well, you're setting the intentions of what's going to happen inside our venue.
Yeah.
You're letting them know that we're aware of people in here and that we're not going to put up with anything. And you can do that very politely and nicely.
Yeah. But it's just by the name, you make it that personal.
Sure. Okay, fair.
Because my name is on my tag.
Yeah. So now we know. Yeah, now we know each other.
Yeah, you know my name, I know your name.
Yeah.
So later on, I said, if we have a problem, I said, you know what? Now we're friends. I said, like, now you're jumping on my ground. As in, then comes the end of the night, and a guy will come up and he's a bit, roughy. And I said, well, remember what you told me at the start of the night? Yeah. What's going on? Well, did you have a good time tonight? Yeah. What should you do? Yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get something to eat. See?
Do it.
Now you know. Go get something to eat.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow night. Right?
Yeah.
And it's a free venue, right? So people wait 8 hours to get into this venue.
Wow.
And it's an amazing place. But it's like I said, when you can have that many people through and no fights, and when you had the 2 fights, they're quashed right away.
Yeah.
Like my guys, like I've got guys up in pedestals. I've got guys walking through the crowd.
Like, boom.
And it's just like I'm on the front of the stage. I'm just like, they're out.
Yeah.
Like we're not discussing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, other people.
Unfortunately, you have to treat it that way.
And that's how it is, right? So, and they all know that coming in. It's like, you know, any part of anything, you're done. You have to hold your standards.
Because you have a lot of other people to worry about than this one drunk dude.
But like anything else, like you got to hold yourself to your standards.
Right.
You set your standards. Sometimes it may be easy to sway from them, but don't sway from them because these are the standards you set for yourself. Like if I get up and I say to myself, I'm going for a walk today for 3 miles. I set that standard to myself. Don't, just because it's raining outside, decide I'm going to stay in the house now.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Because I said to myself, be true to you. Be true to you. Because if you're not true to yourself, then how can you be true to anybody else?
This last segment is brought to you by HeyJustBe.com. I believe that achieving balance in the mental, physical, and metaphysical aspects of your purpose by incorporating learning, serving, and creating can transform your life into one that you truly enjoy living. Want to know more? Go to www.heyjustbe.com.
So how I used to like to wrap this thing up is I ask everybody, how do you just be the best person you can be for everybody else? And so, I mean, you've already told thousands of things that you kind of do, but what do you do? What's your kind of daily routine of taking care of yourself so that you can go out and do all these things we talked about?
I get up every day. I do my daily thankfulness to myself, like to my
daily gratitude.
And then I take my son to school and we have our little time together.
Do you love that?
I love it. It's one of the most amazing things in the world.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, it is. He just, you know, it's dad. Like when he comes out of school, when I pick him up, it's dad, and he's yelling and screaming like he's so happy to see me. Nothing's going to melt your heart any more than that.
Right.
Right. But then I just know that I'm doing a good job because my son wants to be with me. You know, my daughter, when she walks in the door, same thing, wants to be with me and with my wife. So we're doing the right things that she wants to be around us. They're engaged. Yeah, they're engaged with us, right? So I want to make sure that I am engaging my family properly, and I want to concentrate on just staying positive. Like I had some whatever news the other day that wasn't the greatest news that I wanted to hear. And I had a rough end of the day. And my wife, before she went to work, she messaged me a couple times. She said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I said, "Just give me time to process."
Right.
I need to process. I'm like anybody else. I need to process this through. But then the next morning when I put out there, like, you know, no matter what each day brings, always know at the end of the tunnel, there's that glimmer of light. Take that glimmer of light and make it shine. So be positive and open up your day and just go for it with everything in. And no matter what it's bringing forward, just you gotta do that. Like you be positive. Always find something positive. And yeah, there's negative, but there's more positive than negative.
That's right.
Right. So that's why I look at it. Just be positive. And my kids and my family and my neighbors, everybody around me sees it. They look at me lately and they just say, like, you know, we don't recognize you from 2 years ago. Like, you know, I have to take a second look every time I look over there and look at you. Like, you've lost 208 pounds. Yeah. But not just that. She goes, look at the smile on your face. Look at you.
You changed.
I've changed. I become a different person. Like, I am just not the same person I was. When I lost the weight, I lost the depression, most of it, the attitude, most of it, feeling sorry for myself, most of it, all of that stuff. It's a work in progress, right? But it's going. It's going. I'm a better person now. I just, better to smile than to frown.
Sure.
Right? And just, that's what makes me every day be the best me, knowing that I need to be positive, not just for me. My kids need to see it. If I'm not positive around my children, guess what? Then they see that negativity and then they think that's okay. It's not okay. no matter what the day brings, take something good out of that day. You may have a bad test at school, Abigail, but did you talk to your friends today? Yeah. Did you enjoy talking to your friends today? Yeah. So it was a good day, right? Yeah, but I didn't do that great on the math test. Guess what? The next time you will. Just remember, you had something positive happen today. Yeah. Okay. Great. I said, let's go forward.
So you start with thankfulness.
Yeah.
You go to the gym. Obviously, you're
Walking,
working, and you're eating. You're eating well, right?
Yeah, eating more better
as best you can. Yeah, minus the Funyuns. You said like it's that your stomach hasn't really been doing well with the food, huh?
Yeah, with my stomach's not doing well. I go back into surgery again on Tuesday, but that's fine. Like I said, it's in their hands, not my hands.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm just positive. It's gonna work out to be the right way it is. I drink my protein shakes, and I cook my family good wholesome meals because I love to cook. Even at Shiners, that's what I do at Shiners too. I cook at Shiners. I run the kitchen there. So it's like, I do the same thing. So it's, it's things that make me happy, right? Like seeing them happy, eating their food.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Right.
So then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. My dog gets water in the dish. She's happy.
Right.
It's great. Like the cat, comes at me in the morning. They're happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. So I'm happy. So that's what I mean. Nobody's walking around with a frown. So I'm doing something right. So just keep on that path that everybody around me is happy.
Are you a book reader? You read books or anything? You watch documentaries, listen to podcasts?
Podcasts and documentaries more. And I'm more of a documentary type of person that's military documentary.
Okay, give me a good military documentary that you've seen that you like.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a real documentary, I guess. It was the falling of the Third Reich. Like, I watch a lot of the German, so that doesn't happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Because I've been to Germany, I've been to Auschwitz, I've been to a couple of the other concentration camps, and I seen the scarring on the walls of that, type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just things like that. I've always been really interested in, and seeing how we've progressed as people, like not wanting that to happen again, but we seem to be regressing right now because there's so much division, right? So my job is to stop the division from happening and show everybody love, right? And it's just we do that together, then that won't happen again. And it's unfortunate that in our own country here, and this isn't even, well, it's my country now because I live here, but I come from Canada. Canada is no better than the U.S. There's division in Canada as well.
Sure.
Every country has it, right? And it's that judgment part.
Right.
We need to not judge. The skin color doesn't mean nothing. We've all got the same thing running through our veins and we all suck in the same air. We're human beings. There's one race. It's the human race. That's what people need to understand. We're one. We're all one. We're all the same. We just got different shades. And why were there different shades? Climate. The people that were black from Africa, guess what? There was no shade from there. That's why they're like their body. So we're black for that purpose because their body could handle the intense heat. A white boy ain't going to last there. I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
He just ain't going to last. So where do they put the white people? In the cold weather. Right. So it's in my mindset. Like this is how I realize it. I said, you know what?
It's not a factor.
It doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I could care less. Who you believe in? Why? Does that affect me?
Nope.
No. Does it affect you?
Nope.
No. So guess what? It shouldn't affect anybody. Walk the street the way you want. Think what you want. Talk what you want. You've got that right. Be you.
Are you a music guy? You like music? Do you use music as therapy or anything like that?
Yeah.
I'm curious what you listen to because. Hey, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna just take a guess. Okay, so you're from Canada.
Yeah.
And you were born what year?
66.
I'm gonna guess. This is a shitty guess. Southern rock.
No.
Okay. What's your music go to?
My go to, and this blows people away. On my playlist, I've got Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Billy Ocean.
Okay, I love Billy Ocean.
Right. I've got what are they called? Boys to Men.
Oh man.
I've got some Scottie McCreery. I've got Eric Church. I've got Charlie Pride. I've got Merle Haggard. I got Waylon Jennings. I've got George Strait. It's all over the board. And then when I pull up and I'm listening to Pony, like at the stoplight.
By Genuine?
Yeah, but in my car, right? And I got a Chrysler 300. And the windows are down, the moon, and it's just bumping. My car is just bumping, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there. And people are looking over at this big tattooed guy listening to this. How's it going?
Yeah.
Well,
It's going great.
that's me, man. It's just, I listen to everything. My daughter's like, you listen to that? Yeah. Like Destiny's Child. Right? I mentioned Destiny's Child. Like, it's just whatever. Contemporary Christian music. I listen to that. It's whatever I'm.
You feeling your mood that day, huh?
Whatever I'm driving. I've got a playlist that's got 3.5 hours, and I've got a bit of everything in it. And I'll sit there and I'll just drive, or I'll just put my pod in and I'll just listen to the thing straight through. Straight through. And my wife will say, are you going to change that damn thing? No, I'm not. I'm not. She goes, well, I don't like that music. I said, well, I don't like Celine Dion. And I said, you put that on at Christmas, so I got to listen to that. Mariah Carey, well, Christmas isn't coming anytime soon. So, well, why are we listening to it in July? So, like,
That's funny.
so, but I'm just saying, I said, so me, that's me. And coming from Canada, a lot of Canadian country music, like a lot of Canadian country boys that Drew Gregory, Tristan Corncastle. There's a couple of chicks up there that are at Foxworthy. They're just amazing chicks. If they were in Nashville, they'd be like recording superstars. But when you come from a country that's got 37 million people for the whole country, and I'm living in Texas, it's got 39.2 million, do the math.
Yeah, right.
Do the math. Like, they're doing these little gigs with 110 people at night.
Right.
And not charging cover charge, just, get people to listen to them, right? So it's what they're doing what they love.
Yeah.
And that's
They found their purpose, right?
That's right. They found a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before I get you out here, once again, I want to tell you thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming in and doing this. And I ask everybody this. It's a trap question. Did you have a good time?
Oh, couldn't have been any better. I'll tell you, this is awesome.
I mean, in full disclosure, we've met one time. I mean, we've seen each other, but we met one time before and sat down and chatted.
Just once, yeah. That's
And it was just like this.
That's right, exactly.
It was the exact same thing, which
Exactly.
was just so awesome.
Yeah, it's just be genuine, man. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah. Well, I always ask everybody to give me a hug. You can push that microphone out. I'm going to make you stand up and give me a hug. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.